Investigators were intently examining surveillance footage from outside Pam's condo. Pam's friend from the bar had left around 7:45 that night, but what she did next would blow the investigation wide open.
She's at the landing there in front of the elevator, and she's kind of just loitering around in that area. It looks almost like she's talking to herself, or she might even be upset visibly, crying.
The woman's bizarre behavior was incredibly disturbing, and detectives became even more troubled when she returned to the room and began removing Pam's personal items.
I see several times where the suspect is taking clothes and bags and even hats and other accessories of the victims out with her. And she's very nonchalant about it. She's very like, no big deal, acting as if this is normal, this is my stuff. No one really stopped to think anything, no one stopped to question her. No one really thought anything other than, okay, this woman obviously stays here and this is her belongings and she's just doing her thing.
Cameras recorded the woman in the parking lot where she was loading bags into Pam's car. All of the clues pointed to one stunning conclusion. The woman from the video was Pam's killer.
You see her walk out after she kills this woman in cold blood.
The surveillance footage convinced investigators it had been Pam's killer who placed the call to hotel staff asking to extend her stay. The call had been placed at 8:30 a.m., shortly before the woman left the room for the last time.
It made me mad. It sickened me, really, just to know what happened in the room, seeing the evidence, seeing the victim, and then watching it almost all on video.
They quickly found security footage of the suspect taking items out of a white Cadillac Escalade in the hotel parking lot.
So at that point, we knew the make and model, we knew the VIN, we knew the plate number, so we get that entered into a national database so that way we can try to find out where this vehicle is located.
They discovered that the Escalade belonged to Lois Reese. A short while later, surveillance video showed Lois Reese taking Pam's car from the same parking lot. Less than a mile from the resort, police discovered Lois's white Cadillac Escalade abandoned in a nearby parking lot. So at that point, what is going through your mind?
Who is this person? Where did she come from?
In looking at Reese's Minnesota driver's license, she appeared to be a match to their suspect from the resort's video. And there was more. 2 weeks before Pam's murder, Lois Reese's husband had been found shot to death on his bathroom floor.
We quickly start identifying our suspect. We know that we begin, communicating with the Minnesota Police Department. I remember talking to the chief up there, and simultaneously he was working a case in Minnesota where she killed her husband.
Lois Reese had taken more than $11,000 from her husband's bank account before she went on the run.
She was also being investigated for credit card fraud and felony theft type fraud.
The pieces of the puzzle were slowly painting a horrifying picture of Lois Reese's reign of terror.
Killing her husband and then coming down here, she meets our victim, who's very similar looking, and takes her life and takes her identity. It's cold-blooded and it's calculated.
How much pressure did you feel to take Lois Reese off the streets?
I felt immense pressure. Obviously, one homicide is tragic enough, but to then learn that this is in part of an ongoing investigation up in Minnesota where another homicide occurred, then you're going, oh man, we've got to find this person as soon as possible. We do not want this to happen to anybody else. We do not want to have to go tell another loved one that their family member is dead.
Just how dangerous did you think she was?
Extremely dangerous. This killer was another level. She did not look like someone that was capable of killing anyone. She was a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Reese's first stop was at a bank in Fort Myers. Wearing Pam's hat, she withdrew $5,000.
She steals the victim's identity after she kills this woman in cold blood. It's bone-chilling.
Police tracked Reese's movements as she continued driving north.
Lois Reese is using those credit cards and her accounts to pay for hotels, to pay for gas and food, as it appears she's trying to flee.
From there, Reese set out on a cross-country gambling spree.
She begins to go all over the country gambling with our victim's identification.
We see her throughout the panhandle of Florida. We catch her on license plate readers in the Louisiana area, and then also in Texas. We have receipts of her winnings at a casino. I have video surveillance of her at the gas station, just buying little trinkets, little food and drink. And so it appears to me that she's not feeling any sort of guilt or remorse. She's not feeling the weight of what she just did.
Security footage then showed Reese attempting to use Pam's ATM card, but the transaction failed. Law enforcement feared with Pam's funds drying up, Lois Reese would begin hunting for her next prey.
She's running out of supplies and resources. She doesn't know where to go next. She killed 2 people, and I was afraid she was going to do it again. I always knew with the resources that I had available to me here at the Lee County Sheriff's Office that we would find her. It's just a matter of, can we get her in time? It was just my fear of, will I get to her before she does something bad again? That was my biggest fear.
Law enforcement nationwide knew every second counted.
This is an all-hands-on-deck manhunt.
14 days after Pam's murder, U.S. Marshals in Texas tracked Lois down. A customer at a nearby bar had recognized her from news reports.
She's spotted after numerous billboards, Crime Stoppers, intelligence being shared throughout all police departments, locally, state, and federally.
She was sitting at the bar, talking with other people. She's in a populated area. This is a tourist area, similar to Fort Myers Beach. This is a populated restaurant. There was certainly the fear of she's killed twice, at least that we know of. A gun was used, which hasn't been recovered. And so there was a lot of planning, a lot of strategizing of how exactly to go about getting her into custody.
As the U.S. Marshals made their move, they knew Lois Reese was armed, dangerous, and might not go down without a fight.
Your concerns are, when we confront her, is it going to be a gun battle?
But law enforcement had her surrounded and took Reese into custody without incident. How did you feel when U.S. Marshals notified you they had arrested Lois?
Just a sigh of relief. We got her.
With Reese behind bars, Fort Myers investigators immediately got on a plane to question her.
She was there in the holding cell, brought her into the interview room, and we attempted an interview, but she invoked her right to remain silent. So we actually never were able to speak with her.
It was clear that the 56-year-old never felt a shred of remorse for the lives she had cut so tragically short.